season. Another hot man during the indoor campaign, Marty, has been Lee McRae out of the University of Pittsburgh. But right now, let's turn our attention to the men's 60-meter hurdles, where Mark McCoy has the world mark, 7:47, though Greg Foster did run that disputed 7.36 at the Sunkist Games in Los Angeles. He is in the field. Lane 4 is open. You have Parker, Karastan from France, and then Foster in lane 3. Roger Kingdom was the man who won the gold medal at the LA Olympics in '84. Tony Campbell is a two-time Olympian. Tony Day on the outside. Obviously, Foster the favorite. And then what about the rest of the field, Marty?
Well, Karastan is a dangerous man. He was second in the world last year. He's only 22 years old. And you have to remember the last man to take an Olympic medal away from the Americans' Olympic gold medal was also from France, and Guy Dreux. So he's a very dangerous man coming up now in the next 2 years, and Foster wants to use every opportunity to reassert that he and the Americans have owned this event for many years. As we're looking at Tony Campbell, member of our Olympic team in '80 and '84, this is a perfect setup for Foster now. He's on top of his game as never before. He's got an empty lane next to him, which is a big help, and he really could have had the record 2 nights ago, but he had one false start, so he sat in the blocks a little bit long, and he had tremendous poise in reeling the field back in.
And he wound up setting the American mark at 7.48. Again, Foster in lane 3, and it's a false start, and it appeared to have been Greg Foster.
Well,
and so deja vu. Not only did we see Witherspoon win after he won Friday in L.A., but Foster false started.
Foster's life is a lot of pressure. I was going to make the comment that now that Nehemiah's back and he's beaten Nehemiah, the pressure's off on that. But anytime you get a world record indoors, that really means that you've timed the starter perfectly. He's going for a record. He tried to time the starter perfectly. He got caught. Now what does he do? If he wants the world record, he's going to have to do the exact same thing, and it's a little head game. The starter certainly has no interest in this, but they're each good. He's going to be watching Foster as he pulls his trigger on that gun.
If you're wondering about Nehemiah, by the way, he did have surgery on his heel. He is recuperating. He will begin training next week, and he hopes to be back in action sometime in May. Again, Foster in 3, Karastan in 2 is another man to watch, and the Olympic champion in lane 5. And again, a false start, and that time it was Karastan. So the two big men each have one false start, Karastan and Foster.
You know, even in the dashes, the start is very important. But in the hurdles, if you can get a jump, if you can be first over that first hurdle, you put a lot of pressure. And in the past, Greg Foster, when he has been behind, has pressed and hit hurdles. That was what was so impressive the other night. He got out in last place, but he was smooth. He didn't press. He didn't hit any hurdles. I think we'll see a good one this time because the two favorites feel that they both had their one jump. And the pressure and, of course, the odds of a record have just gone down about 60% after 2 false starts.
Again, the official mark, 7.47, Mark McCoy, and then there's Foster's pending 7.36.
Jump start on Roger Kingdom, the Olympic champion. I should bring up LaCourie's rule. Anytime a sprint race is live on national television, there'll be at least 3 false starts. That's more than I've seen the entire indoor season.
Like going into overtime. There is Kingdom. Roger came to the fore in Los Angeles. He was a surprise winner in the 110-meter hurdles, but that's been very much the highlight of his career. He has not come up to that level since.
No, he's had some injuries, but what an athlete. I know in the back of his mind he's thinking decathlon. The man's jumped 7 feet 1 inch. He's long jumped 25 feet. The only thing he can't do is the pole vault. Be very rare that anyone who's as good in one event like he is would go on to win an Olympic championship in the decathlon, but we have so many talented guys like him who give it some thought, and that slowed him down for a year or 2. I think he's decided now his future's in the hurdles.
So Karastan, Foster, and Kingdom, the men who figure to finish 1, 2, 3, not necessarily in that order, have each had a false start. Again, Foster is in lane 3.
Let's see if Tony Campbell in lane 6 takes his.
No, this time it's a fair start, a pretty decent start for Foster, who has the lead, and it is Foster who remains unbeaten during the indoor season, unofficially at 7.48, which would be 1/100th of a second off the existing world mark and would equal his American record established on Friday night. Greg Foster.
There was a lot of pressure here because everybody was taking those false starts, and that gets a lot of energy. Foster's in command of the race right from the start, in the center of the track. Karastan, as you see, going right with them, running a good race. And when they get outdoors, Karastan, the tall, lean one, is very good. But Foster's shown tonight, just as he has the entire indoor season, it's not even close. The thing about him this year is he's very smooth over the hurdles. He's not hitting them as much as he was in the past. He was strong enough in the past to hit hurdles and still run fast. His technique is better, and his concentration seems to be better. He's more relaxed now that Nehemiah is back.
Blanket finish for second. We'll have the results for you when we come back. For a finish now, Foster wins it, Karastan second, Campbell third. Officially, they have him at 7.47, which ties the existing world mark. Greg Foster with Donna.
Greg, you officially tied the world mark, and of course you have that pending, debatable record that you set at the Sunkist, 7.36. That start situation, did it remind you of the other night when there was a false start here? There were 3.
Well, not really. I think the false starts eventually take the I guess, explosiveness out of the legs. I think that's what happened tonight. I think if it had been just the one false start, I think everything would have been a lot faster and a lot better.
It looked like you got a good start anyway.
Well, I got a good start. I think the other guys, they felt they had to hold back this time as well, and it allowed me to basically just concentrate on myself. I figured if anybody false start again, they would be out, and everybody had to hold back somewhere.
Greg, we interviewed you a lot during the Olympic trials and during the Olympics, and of course during the Olympic race you lost to Roger Kingdom, and then you've come back. You've changed. You feel, to me, more relaxed. What's changed you, do you think?
Well, basically, I hate to bring it up, but the tragic death of my mother changed me a great deal. I feel like, I have nothing to lose anymore. I've lost everything as far as a big loss is concerned, and basically everything from now on is just fun and games, and try to come out here and be prepared to run well. And if I do, I'll be happy. If I don't, basically just go back to the drawing board and start all over again.
Certainly put everything in perspective. Thank you.
Thank you.
Back to you, Al.
Okay, Donna, we'll return shortly to San Diego, and we'll take a look at a mile run, which features Scott and Abascal and Walker. But right now, let's go back to New York and Frank Gifford.